Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so glad that you are here. Hi, happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend and all those good things. I don't know about you, but I'm ready. I'm ready to get the weekend started. I live in Texas, as most of you know, and we're starting to thaw out just a little bit, slowly regaining some normalcy. I hope that things are nice and warm where you are at. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Victoria Marie Friday live here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. If you are new around these parts, make sure you hit subscribe. Click the bell, that way you'll be notified each and every time we go live here on the channel and whenever I post content here to the channel. Hello everybody, happy Friday. Hello, hello, so glad to see everyone here today. Got our usual cast of characters and some new folks too. So glad that you guys are here. Today, I'm going to be announcing the winners of our 11 subby giveaway, which should be a lot of fun. And then I'm going to be making a layout using some goodies from Felicity Jane. I'm going to show you guys that stuff here in just a moment. Hey, Martha, new subscriber, enjoying your channel. Thank you. As I learned to document our family of 9. That is fantastic. Thank you, Martha, for joining us. I'm so glad that you're here. Gemma's here. Barb, Ella, Heather. I'm trying to catch up with all the chats and people posting, popping up. Carol, hello, and Sarah and Brenda. Hey, Gloria from a very hot Bolivia. Hello. Well, I think we would rather for it to be hot here than cold here in Texas right now. We ain't used to all of this. Hello, everyone who's just joined us. We're going to get started here in a second. I'm going to wait for some folks to pop up. If you like this live stream, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That will let YouTube know that you are enjoying what you are participating in this afternoon. We do this every Friday for the most part, and we have a lot of fun. And I normally just make some stuff, and we do all the things. So we have a ton of fun here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. Going to be announcing our winners here in just a second for our 11K giveaway. So thank you everyone for participating in that. And I think today is just going to be sort of a chatty, gonna make some stuff, scrapbooky type things. I do have just a couple of announcements for you. As we get started, we'll wait for some more people to pop on. Hello, Jamel. How is it going? How's it going? I'm a little self-conscious today because I jammed my finger in my master bathroom door. Don't ask me how I did it, but I did. I was trying to shut the door and my finger got caught up in it. And so my middle finger here is nice, swollen, black, and blue. This happened a couple of days ago, so I feel kind of self-conscious because it looks weird. I had a bandage on it, but I didn't want to wear the bandage as I'm, filming my hands. I film my hands all the time. So anyway, I don't know what I was doing to jam my finger. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird. So very weird. Okay, I'm going to test something out real quick because I think that my filming, my camera, the image is inverted. So I'm going to test something out real quick to see if we're seeing things backwards. Scrap-in happens as we just got out of negative 45. Oh my God, over the weekend in Canada. That is super, super cold. That is so, I could imagine, what is negative, yep, that's backwards. What does negative 45 degrees feel like? Like that is, I could not imagine that. Let me know if you guys are experiencing cold weather where you're at while I am changing. I need to rotate my screen here. Let's see if this will work. Hold on, just I'm going to make some changes real quick while we're doing this. Let me know in the comment section if you are experiencing cold weather where you're at. Or not. You might be, depending on where you're at in the globe. There we go. There we are. You might be experiencing some warmer weather, but God, negative 45 degrees. Like, I don't even know how to compute that in my head. That seems super cold. How does one, in Texas, we're prepared for things like, oh goodness, we're prepared for tornadoes. We're prepared for hurricanes in the southern part of Texas, and we're prepared for hot weather. But cold weather, what we've had recently, not so much. We've got some families here that are not having a good go of it. with the rolling outages and water issues. We just got an announcement that we don't have to boil our water in the North Fort Worth area. So everything seems to be at least stabilized here, at least in North Fort Worth, which is about an hour from Dallas. But throughout the state, there's been some issues. So if you're one of those individuals who's impacted by that, hang in there. Hang in there as best as you can. We've got folks, let's see, it's 63 in Arizona. That sounds lovely. I couldn't imagine negative weather. That just seems like so super cold. Super, super cold. Yeah. Oh my goodness. 34 degrees and rainy in Delaware. Yep, having trouble with Texas weather. Yeah, it's been very, very weird. Uh-oh. Corinne is in front of me. She's working on a craft project. We got wood pieces flying here on my desk. Good grief. Negative 45 wind chill. Good grief. That's so cold. So cold. Well, anyway, I'm so glad that you guys are here. We're going to be doing a layout today, which is, I think, what did I title this layout? Alone time, I think is what it's called. Alone time. And here is the 4x6 photo I took of myself eating a breakfast burrito at Chick-fil-A a couple of weeks ago, and looking completely busted. But I had to go run an errand, and I've been getting up early lately so I can, take care of some things and get, work tasks done and that type of thing. But I happened to go run some errands that morning, and I've gotten into a habit now that whenever I can have a little bit of alone time, it's usually in my car eating something, because I think during this pandemic, it's hard to go places. I know depending on where you're at, a lot of places are still on lockdown. There's not a lot of places you can go. And even in the state of Texas, while things are a little bit more lax than it is in other parts of the country, people are going out and doing things. There's still some stuff we can't do and some restaurants we can't go in and eat and whatever. But we're trying to stay at home as much as we possibly can. And so every now and then, if I have to go and run an errand, I will grab a coffee or something and just have a moment to myself. So that's what I'm scrapbooking about today. And I think it's interesting to capture these stories because I think when we look back on this time, we can read about how we were dealing with everything in response to the pandemic, in response to other things that are going on. So this is just a selfie that I took as I was sitting in the car trying to get a little bit of alone time. I'm going to be using the Gabby collection from Felicity Jane, and in the description I did post a link to Felicity Jane if you're interested in going to the Felicity Jane shop. So make sure you check that out. All right, but before we get started, I want to announce there's two things. I want to announce the winners of our 11K subscriber giveaway, and I want to tell you about the Victoria Marie online virtual crop registration is up now, so I'm going to tell you about that here in just a second, and then we will get into today's project. As we kick off the weekend, I hope that you will find some time to relax, take a deep breath, and to do something creative this weekend. Have some time to yourself if you're able to. I realize that some people are not able to do that at this time with everything that's going on. So I hope that you are safe, and I hope that you're getting the services and the resources that you need, and for you and your family and friends. Alrighty. Yes, Cindy, I'm ready for some sun here in Texas as well. As well. Okay, so we have an 11,000 subscriber giveaway that I hosted last Friday, and you were to post in the comment section what was your favorite scrapbooking technique that you like to do on your scrapbooking pages. And so I have picked two winners at random using a website called random.org. So we are going to announce those winners right now. So the winners of the giveaway, and I'm not quite sure if these two individuals are on here right now, but we're going to announce it, and then hopefully they will get in touch with me. But we have two winners, and these winners will win a $25 e-gift certificate to scrapbook.com, so they can do a little bit of shopping. And scrapbook.com has a wide range of scrapbooking products and tools. They also have free online classes and tutorials, and they have a lot of resources on a wide range of scrapbooking techniques that you can definitely try out on your projects. And they have a gallery. So if you want to share your projects there, that's a great place to share it and get some feedback on your project. So our two winners are Kari Duncan. I think it's Kari, or maybe it's Kari, Kari Duncan, and Caroline Dubois. Dubois. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So Kari Duncan, Caroline Dubois, if you are on here, congratulations. You are the winners of the $25 Scrapbook.com e-gift card as a part of our 11K subscriber giveaway. Make sure that you email me. My information is posted in the description box, my email address. Make sure you email me to claim your prize by March 1st so that I can get that e-gift card to you ASAP. So congratulations to those two ladies, and thank you to all of you who join me week after week, year after year, and supporting Victoria Marie Designs, supporting me wherever you support me, whether it's just here on YouTube or my other platforms. Thank you guys so very much for being here, a part of this community. We have a really awesome community of scrapbookers, and if you are new here, please know that you are in a great place. Very supportive, very upbeat. We keep things positive, we keep things rolling here, and sharing what we love, which is of course storytelling and scrapbooking, and enabling each other to buy all the scrapbooking products. So I'm going to be enabling Kari and Caroline, as they will have $25 to spend at scrapbook.com. So buy all the wonderful things. Thank you so much, you guys. This is just so much fun to be able to do this, and we will celebrate as this community continues to grow. So congratulations to our winners, Kari and Caroline. Please make sure you email me. The information is in the description box so you can claim your prize. All right, second announcement for today. For those of you who love scrapbook crops and like hanging out with other scrapbookers, if you haven't joined our community at a Victoria Marie online virtual crop, what are you waiting for? We have so much fun. I am hosting virtual crops, or I have been hosting virtual crops since 2020, mid-2020. And I'm continuing to host them throughout 2021, and we'll just continue to do so. But we have a lot of fun. The virtual crops are hosted on the Victoria Marie Mighty Network, which is a new platform that I'm trying out to help continue engagement in community here in the Victoria Marie Scrap Boss community. And we have a lot of fun. So the virtual crops include challenges all weekend long. It's held over a weekend. We start Friday night as a kickoff, and then we have a full day of challenges on Saturday and a full day of challenges on Sunday. It's all online, so you don't have to pack up anything or go anywhere. And the challenges, regardless of the theme of the crop, are designed for anyone to play along. So this month we have what's called the Scrapper Bowl online virtual crop, and it's sports themed slightly. So come out, represent your favorite sports or your sports fandom, your sports team, whatever it is for you. And it doesn't have to be like football, soccer, hockey. It can be cheerleading, it can be ballet, it can be anything that you consider a sport or not. If you just want to come and hang out, you don't have to know anything about sports or like sports to come and hang out with us. The challenges are designed for general scrapbooking technique, even though it does have a sports themed twist to it. Slightly, so you can come and hang out and scrapbook and have fun. We have some folks, believe it or not, that will participate in the crop, but may not participate in the challenges. They just want to hang out for our live Zoom sessions. Speaking of, not only do we have challenges, scrapbook challenges, but we have live Zoom scrap and chats throughout the weekend. So we kick off with a live Zoom scrap and chat. Tuesday there are 2, and Sunday there are 2, and everything is at a scheduled time. So there's a schedule of events, and you get a description of the challenges when you register for the crop. Also, we have prizes and giveaways throughout the weekend. So if you want to just come and hang out with us, please do. It's $7.99. That's it for right now. $7.99. That is the price to come hang out all weekend long. You get your challenges, you get your scrap and chats. Every now and then I do a mini class for one of the scrap and chats, and then prizes and giveaways, and you get to spend time with other scrapbookers who are working on projects throughout the weekend. Now, here's the thing. You don't actually have to be available during the weekend. So say, for instance, you have something else going on, all of the Zoom sessions are recorded, and your challenge submissions aren't due for like 3 weeks after the crop. So we had one last month, and our participants are finishing up their submissions this week. It's due actually today, I believe. And so you have a long time to finish your challenges. So you don't have to do them, start them and finish them over the weekend. Although we do have some people who start and finish them over the weekend, if that's your prerogative. But you do have a lot of time to participate, and people continue to communicate within the crop platform. Now, on the Victoria Marie Mighty Network, the crops are designed as groups. They're called groups. And so what you do is when you register, you pay to join that premium group, which is the crop. Everything that goes on, the challenges, the giveaways and everything, all happen within the group. So you don't have to go to another platform. You're not going to Facebook. You're not being emailed a link to enter something. Everything happens on one platform, and there's a tutorial to show you how. So if you are interested in participating in the virtual crop, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the description of this live, and I've posted a link that will lead you to the information and how to register and how to pay to participate. It's $7.99 USD, $7.99 USD. And once you register, you will be able to get access to the crop. Right now, folks who have registered have access to the schedule of events, which I post in the marketing information anyway, so you'll be able to look to see what's going on there. And you'll get everything else that will be posted in that group. We will start this virtual crop. It starts on February 26th through the 28th. So it's next Friday is when that crop will hop off. And there will be more crops all year long. So if you can't make it to this one, you can still sign up and play along all throughout the month of February and the first part of March, but there'll be other crops too. But we would love for you to come out, hang out with us. We have so much fun during the crops, particularly during the scrap and chats. That's the most popular feature of the virtual crops, are the scrap and chats, because we get to talk to each other and see human faces and interact and have a lot of fun while we are scrapbooking. So get your jerseys ready, get your sports paraphernalia ready, whatever it is, your sports fandom, get it ready. We're going to have a lot of fun doing some challenges, sports theme. Let's do it. Make sure you check out all the information that is available on the Victoria Marie blog. I posted a direct link down in the description box so that you can check that out. Registration ends on Sunday, February 28th. So go ahead, get signed up, get ready, get suited and booted. We're going to have a lot of fun. And you can always let me know if you have any questions. So we do have some people in the chat who joined me for the virtual crops. We have a lot of fun. Cindy says, that's me. I just scrap and hang out during the Zooms. Absolutely. There's some folks who they may not be interested in the challenges or don't want to do challenges, but they just want to hang out, which is fine. You don't have to do the challenges to come and hang out. But if you want to win prizes, then you do need to participate in whatever challenge that you're interested in. You don't have to participate in them all. Each challenge has a different prize associated with it. Cindy says, the virtual crops are so much fun. Everyone should sign up. I sure hope so. Let's see. We got a lot of Cindy's on here today. Another Cindy says, just registered. Looking forward to this month's crop. Awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think with everything that's going on, it's just so important for us to stay connected as a community. And I think a lot more of us are in the creative community that are doing that. So lots of folks here in the comments and the chat saying that they love the crop. I'm so glad to hear that. So glad to hear that. Victoria's Mighty Network channel has a lot of forums. We do. So you get to know a lot of wonderful people. That's the whole point of the Mighty Network, is so that you can meet other scrapbookers, not only just all over, but also in your area as well. So lots of fun. Yes, Bebby's got the email. Awesome. The virtual crops are so fun and motivating. I agree. The challenges, VM challenges are the only challenges I do. Yay, I love the extended time. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And you do have extended time to work on the challenges, so you don't have to feel like you have to get them done in the weekend. We're not trying to stress. We're just trying to have fun and make some stuff. So there we go. It's nice to feel like you're at a actual crop and listen to the chatter. Heather, I agree. And we say that a lot too. It's really nice it almost feels like you're, at an actual crop, but you don't have to pack anything, right? You don't have to pack anything. You don't have to go anywhere. Monique says, I just registered for this one and love the last one. Awesome, Monique. I'm so glad that you're going to hang out with us. And you know what? As the host, I love it too because I don't go a lot of places and I work at home all the time. And I haven't been to, and I had to cancel all the Victoria Marie retreats. And so I haven't actually been to a scrapbook event. And oh goodness, I guess it's been over a year now. It's been over a year. And so it's nice to be able to connect with people. And, you know, not everybody understands what we do, right? So it's hard to talk to non-scrapbookers about scrapbooking sometimes because they don't always understand it, you know? So anyway, speaking of scrapbooking, let's make a page. If you, again, I want to just say, if you're new to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. We're so glad to have you. Make sure you subscribe so that way you know each and every time I go live here. Give this live stream a thumbs up if you like what you see. And we are going to go ahead and get started. As I mentioned at the start of the stream, I am using products from the Felicity Jane Gabby kit. And I want to say this one was this January? I don't remember when this kit came out, to be honest with you. But I did post a link down below, so show Felicity Jane some love if you're interested in some of these products. So this one is a very kind of self-story themed type of kit. And I also pulled out some other font stickers that are from other kits. The cool thing about Felicity Jane is that all the kits coordinate together. So you can easily pull together some of the products from older kits to create really beautiful pages. So I went through, grabbed some stuff out of this kit that I'm going to use for the layout. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be scrapbooking this photo here. And this is a 4x6 photo printed on the vertical. I do have a white border around it already. That's how I printed it. I get asked this all the time I do a live. What printer do you use? I use the Epson PictureMate printer, and it prints up to 5x7. And I'm currently stocking, there's a printer that I've been stocking for like months, and it's completely out of stock. It's been out of stock for weeks. So I plan on getting a wide format printer to print larger photos. So when I do that, I'll share that with you. All right, so here is the 4x6 photo, again, of me sitting in my car eating a breakfast burrito from Chick-fil-A. And on this particular day, I had gotten up early to run errands, and I was hungry, and so I stopped to just have a moment to myself. Now, let me know in the comment section if you do this, but it's hard being at home sometimes, and it's hard being away from people. But also, we know we're around people a lot too, because we're all trying to shelter in place. But because of this, it is important to take time to ourselves. I think just in general, notwithstanding a pandemic or other things that are going on. So every now and then I take a little moment to myself, grab a little bite to eat, grab a little coffee, have some time to listen to a podcast or to watch something on YouTube on my phone or whatnot, just to have a moment to center myself. And I think that this is important to add to my storytelling, is because I want to be able to look back on this time and say, you know, what was I up to? What was my mindset going on in that particular time? Why was I doing the things that I was doing right now? And so I think it's important to capture those stories. And a lot of what I'm doing in my scrapbooking now is scrapbooking the deeper stories. Like, I've gotten beyond that phase where I'm just scrapbooking all the stories just to scrapbook, or I'm thinking, oh, I must get this in my scrapbook. There's only so much space that I feel that I have in my environment and in my storytelling space that I want. So I've really been focusing on those key stories that really highlight what my experience is, or that of my family and so forth. So this is one of those stories. This will go into the album that I have about myself. I love scrapbooking about myself and making sure that I'm in my scrapbooks, and I think that's super, super important. So I have this photo. This was originally going to be an 8.5 by 11 layout. I'm going to tell you why it's not here in just a second. And then I've got a bunch of items here from Felicity Jane, some die cuts that I've pulled out some already that I think I'm going to use. I'm trying to use up as much of the die cuts that I have available to me for this layout where it makes sense. And I'm going to try to play around a little bit with the design. I haven't 100% committed to my original plan, so we'll see how this spans out. So I have my journaling already typed and printed on some little strips here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that in a second. I've got some die cuts here as well as some chipboard. I also have, I love these little containers. I love all kinds of small things here. I've got these little clips These are little paper clips, and Felicity Jane has a wide range of these little paper clips that are just so much fun to use on your scrapbook layouts, and they're not, or any project rather, and they're not super big or super bulky where it'll take up space on your page or make it bulky. So, and they come in these nice little plastic containers. So I have these items all picked out. I also pulled these, I don't know why I pulled these. These are little tiny notebooks. I actually don't know what I would do with these, to be honest with you. I have no clue. This kit actually came out in 2020, so I don't know if it's still available. But anyway, a part of this is these little tiny notebooks, which are kind of fun. Very cute. Not sure what I would do with that, but it's super cute anyway. And I've got some chipboard pieces that are still left. Some pocket cards, which I'm not going to use on this page, but usually with the Felicity Jane kits, you get a set of pocket cards that you can use. I like to use them for pocket scrapbooking as well as scrapbook or regular scrapbooking pages. There's some cardstock fringe as well, which is a super fun little element to use. You always get a stamp set, and I might use this stamp set for this layout, so I'm going to leave it here. And then I couldn't decide what I wanted to use for my font stickers. So this is the one that came in the kit, which I love, this green color. The little tiny fonts are perfect for titles. I also picked out this one from the Elizabeth kit. That was from 2020, I believe, as well. No, this is from 2019, so that's almost 2 years ago. The Jenny Puffy Alphas, and then my favorite alphas are from the Jamie collection. This is the typeface alpha, and then the Amanda alphas, which I don't think I've used at all, so these are brand new. I love, you guys, if you've been around me for a while, you know I love my alpha stickers, particularly thickers. But I pulled just some options out because I'm not quite sure what I want the title to look like. So I'm going to set all that to the side. I also pulled out some pattern paper. So I'm going to use the stripe pattern paper here. And then this pattern paper, I don't think I'm going to use that side. Where's my other one? I think I had another one that I was going to mount the pattern paper. Or no. I cut up 2 strips of pattern paper is what I did. So I have the stripe pattern paper that I want to use, that I already cut up in strips. And then I have a whole bunch of little scraps of pattern paper that I have kind of hanging out. This was from the September kit. There we go. This was from the September 2020 kit from Felicity Jane. There we go. Alrighty, so I still have some pattern papers left over. I love this one. This is my favorite. The wood grain that I also cut as well. Got some of the branding strips that also have a design on them, which are fantastic to use for scrapbooking. The stripe paper, and then some of the solid cardstock that's still left, and then this pattern paper. So I could probably, if I wanted to, use this up and be done with it. I'm almost there. So let me move these things out the way, these little strips of paper. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and set up the background for this layout. So my initial thought was I was going to take these strips of pattern paper here with the large bold stripes. And I have one that's cut to about 2 inches and one that's cut to about a little bit less than that, maybe 1.5 inches, something like that. And what I thought I would do was create an anchor on opposite sides of the layout. So I would have, and it would be asymmetrical. So one part would be a little bit heavier than the other. And a lot of times when we think about asymmetrical layouts, sometimes it may not look like it's balanced, but it is balanced. So asymmetrical meaning you're going to have more of your elements on one part of the page, and then opposite from that, you're going to have a smaller cluster of elements. I'm not quite committed to this particular design, but we're going to see how it goes. So my idea was I was going to take this strip of wood grain paper. I'm going to create an anchor right here, and this is where my photo is also going to go. And I'm just going to place these 2 strips opposite of each other. Then I wanted to come in with my photo and put my photo here. Initially, this layout was going to be 11.5 by 8. I'm sorry, 8.5 by 11. Get your life together, Victoria. 8.5 by 11. However, because I had a lot to say and the design elements I wanted to have a larger landscape. And I'm okay with putting one photo on a layout. although I tend to use about 2 to 4 on average on a layout. But every now and then it calls for a one photo situation. And this is the only photo that I have of myself on this particular day for this story. So I have my journaling here, and what I did was I typed it up in Microsoft Word using a text box, and I typed up a few different text boxes to span over my journaling. And so my idea is that I would arrange them coming down the page like this, and then I would have the title maybe interrupt the journaling just a little bit. So this is going to be a heavy journaling project. This particular technique is a great way to add typed journaling if you want to your layouts. Nothing against handwriting. I think, you do whatever's comfortable for you. But sometimes when I have a lot to say, I need to type it because my brain, I type faster than what I can handwrite when my brain is, going 10 miles a minute. So I typed up my journaling to talk about that there aren't a lot of opportunities to be alone now. And every now and then, I like to be able to take a break. And Bree and I, my spouse and I, give each other both an opportunity to do this because it's needed. So I typed up my thoughts using these text boxes. And I typed it up, and printed out on some white paper. So my thought was I'm going to adhere them going to this side of the layout. So it kind of fills in that space a little bit. This will be more of a, less of a heavily embellished layout, but more focused on the journaling and the story. So if that's your jam, then I think you'll like this. Now, notice I left a little bit of space here at the top of the journaling. And my thought process was I was going to come in and add some stamping as headers to the journaling. There is a stamp that says today was, one that says really hard, my journey, take a deep breath, that type of thing. But I'm focused on these smaller stamps that I think will fit here at the top. And so I left them blank because I wasn't quite sure if I was going to do that. But I think actually I am. So what I want to do is get the journaling in order to see, let's see, make sure that it makes sense. So it says, there are no opportunities for any of us to be at home alone. Everyone is home all the time. There are days when I'm desperate for the break. Today was one of those days. So I got in my car to run an errand while I was out, and I took a moment to myself. Much needed and relaxing. I think I actually have an order. Being at home during a pandemic is challenging for the most part. We're sheltering in place. When I'm out, I usually stop somewhere to grab a bite to eat. Oop, I found a typo, but I'm not going to worry about it. Sit in my car, listen to podcasts. No distractions, no one needing me to do something. I can be alone with my thoughts, unbothered. There are many times when Aubrey has asked or has recommended that I take time to myself. I appreciate that. It's okay to get away without guilt or obligation, to relax and to be in peace and to grab a quick bite alone. For this, I do not apologize. Okay, so I have everything in order then. So I think the next thing I want to do is figure out, I think I definitely want to stamp. So in the stamp set, it has this stamped image that says today was, and I might start out with stamping it here at the top and then maybe trimming off some of the excess white space there. So let me get set up with some inks. So I think for this, I'm going to stamp in black. I think I'm going to use some Versamark. And then I want to get a, let's bring over an acrylic block. For those of you who struggle with adding stamping to your layouts, this is a really, really great way to do that, to add more stamping to your layouts, to incorporate it into your journaling. Lori says, I look forward to your lives every week. Awesome. Debbie says, I just signed up for the virtual crop. That's so cool. Some folks there's some things you want to finish this weekend. Those of us in Texas are still thawing out. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to take that stamp, and I find that with Felicity Jane stamps, I don't have to prime them that much to get a good impression, but it's always great to test out your stamps before you do. So if you have a stamp that is a high quality photopolymer stamp, usually you can get a pretty good impression right out the back. But it's okay to test it out. I say test it out before you commit. I like to rub my stamp against my hand or whatnot. You can also take a pencil eraser, rub that small little amount of manufacturing film from that. I'm just going to test this out here. Yep, that'll work. I'm just going to use black, and I'm just going to stamp that right there. Today was, and I think I'll trim just a tiny bit of that off here in just a second. Great way to add and use those phrase stamps or icon stamps or whatever stamps that you have. Incorporate that with your journaling and your titles. Okay, get some usage out of it. While I'm doing this, speaking of stamps, if you follow me on Instagram, and then if you subscribe to the newsletter, or if you're in the Victoria Marie community, I shared that I am in the process of reorganizing my scrapbook studio. Last year, I moved up to the second floor of my house, and I was using a room on the first floor, and we have a bonus space here on the second floor, and Aubrey noticed that I needed more space. And admittedly, I did need more space as the business grows, and I'm taking on more projects. And so I moved up here, and it's great. It has great natural lighting and the whole nine. But I have found, however, that my organization systems that worked for me prior in other spaces no longer work for me now. And so I'm in the process of reorganizing my space, which means that I have to spend some time looking through my items and purging stuff and all of that, which is absolutely fine. But this process is taking me a while. So I started with my stamps, and I went through and I purged a bunch of stamps, and I categorized my stamps first by theme, then by manufacturer, because that's usually how I work. And so that process will be done hopefully this weekend, and then I'll move on to paper and mixed media and all that. Meanwhile, I'm waiting for all the things I ordered to come in, and of course shipping is delayed. I think I got my first package today in over a week or so, since the weather and stuff went sour. So anyway, all that to say, I'll be sharing that process in a video on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel at some point when it's done. But if you're a Victoria Marie patron, you'll get to see the behind the scenes of it, and I'll be sharing a little bit here and there in the Mighty Network and on Instagram, so if you want to see that. Cindy says, I'm reading the challenges for the virtual crop, and you definitely do not need to be sporty at all for the challenges. Are all suited for anyone. Yay for the win. Awesome. Thank you for mentioning that. So if you are interested in the virtual crop and you're kind of turned off by the sports theme, don't be. The challenges are all scrapbook techniques that you can do, sports theme notwithstanding. So thank you, Debbie, for signing up. Thank you. Thank you. Jimmy said, it's the opposite here. I live alone. Well, just me and my small furry called Herbie. Aw, that's a great name. I love all the time alone. There are some people who will agree with you with that. Absolutely. My Aubrey included. She likes time alone. Sarah Swan, what's going on? She says, agree. I love my family, but I definitely need some breaks. And so do they. Absolutely. We all do. We all do. Hello from France. Hello. Alrighty. So I stamped really hard on this card, the phrase really hard. And now I'm stamping my journey on the next text box. So anyway, I'm in the process of organizing my stamps. That's almost done. And, you know, my litmus test for organizing stuff is have I used the item within the past year? And if not, if it's something that's not bringing me joy, hello, Marie Kondo, if it's not bringing me joy, it's got to go. Because I'm at a point in my life where I don't want the clutter. I just cannot deal with it. And the way that I'm reorganizing my craft space is to eliminate the clutter and to make it more usable space that makes sense to how I work today. Okay, so I stamped today was, and then the next one really hard, my journey. I think I want to pop in keep moving. That's another stamp that's with this kit, so I'm going to get that lined up. Keep moving. Again, excellent way to use these stamps, folks. Keep moving. Let's see if we want to position that in there. What I'm finding as I am organizing and sort of getting things together in my studio is that I don't need as much as I thought I once did when I started scrapbooking years ago. I have actually pared down what I used to have compared to what I have now. A lot of what I have now are tools and devices or products that people send to me for projects. But if I wasn't doing this professionally, or if I wasn't on design teams or doing contract work for companies, I probably wouldn't need this space. Like, I would be perfectly happy in the room that I was in. So I think that we have things in our space that help us to be better crafters. And if your space is impacting how you scrapbook or how you show up to your creative hobbies, then reevaluate the space, right? Make it work for you. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so now I've got one last card that I want to stamp, and I'm trying to decide what I want to use. There's, you can do hard things. That's not kind of what I want. I might have to do something. Maybe I'll do my goal. It may not 100% fit the journaling, but it's close enough. I'll make it work. And it's my page, so I can put on it wherever I want to, right? It's my page. So I'm going to put on this last one, my goal. So these are like 5 different little separate journaling spots that are all going to come together in a cohesive whole. Okay, using my stamp chamois to wipe off my stamp. Got some stamping in on this one, so I'm happy about that, using the stamp set. And if you aren't familiar with Felicity Jane stamp sets, they all are kits. They all come with a stamp set, which I love, that coordinate with the theme of the kit. Absolutely. Okay. So we'll move that out of the way. And I think I am committed now to this design. So I have the 2 pieces of pattern paper, and this one that I have just cut at an angle. I just did that with my scissors. And now I have my journaling, which it kind of looks a bit editorial, right? It looks pretty cool though. And what I'm not going to worry about is how much embellishing that I'm putting on this, because this is really a storytelling type of layout. You guys know I love my embellishing, but every now and then a girl just needs to do a little bit of stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and commit to some of these elements on the layout. So I'm just going to move this out the way, scooch that over. Let's put this baby together. I, in fact, have a ton of creative projects to do. I've got some deadlines looming that are coming towards the end of the month. And I have got a lot of creative energy lately, so I'm going to capitalize on that this weekend for sure. And I've been wanting to get this layout done. I've had this prep since last week, so I've been wanting to get this one done. So I'm glad that I'm doing it with you during this live. All right, so I'm going to put that first piece of pattern paper down. I could extend out, right? If I want to make my own pattern paper out of this, I can extend that out and add more strips of pattern paper. This is going to be my anchor. Okay, and then I'm going to go opposite that with the other piece of pattern paper, and I'm going to keep it in this orientation with the same colors going up and down. I could also flip it too if I wanted to do, if I wanted to be real crazy about it, I could flip that if I wanted to. But I'm going to keep it going in the same direction. A thing I bought recently was a centering ruler, which I'm so happy about. This is something that I have been wanting to get to help me line up things on my layouts for the longest time. And I kept saying, no, I don't need one. No, I don't need one. And I keep seeing people using them. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get one now. So I found it on Amazon. They're super inexpensive. I think I paid like $8. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure that I have that right at the same height. I'm usually not that big on having things straight, super straight or whatever. If it looks good to me, then I'm great. But this one I wanted to make sure was on. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I'm going to pop this up using some foam from Scrapbook.com. Grab my scissors. because you guys know I like to pop things up. Someone asked me if I had a lot of dimension on my layouts, and the answer to that is it depends. Most of my layouts today, I'm using this thinner foam that's about 1/8 of an inch, so you don't get a ton of bulk. But I do like a tiny bit of dimension on my layouts. Well, let's take that back. I like dimension and layers on my layouts. And every now and then I just like to keep it simple. Like this one, I'm just keeping kind of simple. Okay, so we're just going to add that foam there. And we're good to go. What else could I do with this? I could stamp, I could do some mixed media in the background. I'm not really feeling that today, but I could. That could be a possibility. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the photo on. There we go. And we're going to bring over the journaling. And I think some of them I'm going to trim down just a tiny bit. So for that, I'm going to bust out my guillotine trimmer. If you're not familiar with a guillotine trimmer, essentially what it is a trimmer that works for very sharp precision cutting. And the one I use is by Ranger. It's from Tim Holtz by Ranger. And it gives you nice crisp cuts. Super sharp, so don't cut your finger. But I love guillotine trimmers. There's other companies that make them too, not just Ranger. I'm just cutting off some of the excess white off the cards. I left a little extra space, which I'm glad that I did because I knew that I would potentially want to add some stamping onto this. This is also, if you're feeling like you're kind of stuck with your journaling, this is a really great idea to kind of jazz things up a little bit on your scrapbook pages. There we go. Cool. Lots of journaling. This is my jammy jam. So I'm going to sort of alternate these journaling cards back and forth, and then my title is going to go here. I'm noticing a little bit of ink smudge. So I'm taking a sand eraser to take those ink smudges off. I use a Tombow Mono sand eraser to do that, and it's designed for ink, to take off ink. Very handy. All right, so I think I'm going to put the title here. It's going to say Alone Time. That's going to go here. I thought the title would be longer where it would interrupt the journaling, and I would do Alone Time here. Maybe it still will. Maybe I'll just bump this up just a little bit more, and then do Alone Time here, and then have this card go here. Let's see how I feel about that. So let's grab some fonts. I'm thinking, I always default to this one. This one is the Jamie font. I also like this one too, the Jenna. Let's see how this works out. I'm going to cut this on the side, make it easier for me to get my font stickers out. I wish I came up with this idea. I saw somebody on YouTube do this once, and I'm like, that's brilliant, versus trying to open it from the bottom and then you're dealing with the adhesive and stuff. Like, why would we do that? Why would we do that? Love the centering ruler. Oh, yes, the T-square ruler. Right, saves you every time. I get it. I get it. Gemma, I was the same way. I'm like, I waited, I don't know how many years to buy a T-square ruler. And then eventually I bought one. I'm like, what did I wait all this time for? Okay, so I'm going to use, I think I want to use this font. Let's see here. I'm trying to line it up using the lines on the paper. And my title might not be that long for me to do that, actually. Okay, so let's get the letters on here and see what we're cooking with here. Okay, then I thought I would come in with a different font sticker, like this one. It's a little colorful. It kind of goes with the colors here. It's a slightly brighter, but I want it this size font with a little bit more color. So let's see, I think I might pull from this the blue if I can. And then place it, because I thought it would go like this, but I don't think my title is going to be long enough to go all the way out. So I think I'll go back with my first thought and just have this coming down here to the side. Now, if you don't like the look of the journaling blocks like this, you can easily just do one large block of journaling, whether you print it out on a separate piece of paper or vellum or whatnot, or if you have a large format printer where you're able to print on 12 by 12, then you would just design it so that you would, add a text box, maybe in Microsoft Word, change your page size to 12 by 12. Maybe you use Photoshop if you have that skill to do that, and then you can do your journaling along one side and still do the same type of design. So lots of options there. I like the blocks because it helps me sometimes when I have a lot to write and I don't want to do just one big text block. It gives me some some freedom to be able to move the blocks around. Okay, so I'm coming to a point. I was going to use all blue, but that's not going to happen because I don't have a blue in the letter E. So what I am going to do instead is alternate the colors, I guess. So I'm going to go for this darker or this lighter pink, kind of playing off the pink here in the strip. And then let's go for the M in yellow. And then let's go for the darker pink here for the E. Okay. So I'm going to move this over just a smidge. Getting that lined up. This also could be a stamped title, right? Okay. Alone time. We all need it. We all need that time to ourselves to regroup, to relax, to think, all those things. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, come on. Oh, well, that E's down. It's not coming back up. That E is down. It ain't coming back up. We're just going to keep rolling with it. All right, so now I have my journaling blocks. And so what I want to do with these is I want to add some dimension to every other one. So I think I'm going to pop this one up, and this one up, or maybe these two. I think I'm going to pop up these two. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere these down. Heavy journaling for this project, which I love. Not every layout has to be like this glamorous piece of work, piece of art, right? Scrapbooking is about storytelling. At least for me it is. Adding a piece of foam. And then I'm going to stick that here. Bounce that up a little bit. Leave this one flat. Alternating them back and forth. In fact, embellishing is so secondary to me right now for this project. I don't really know where I'm going to put some of the embellishments that I pulled out. Those were very, very, very kind of last thought. I just pulled some that I think would work. So we'll see how this comes together. So I somewhat have this project planned, but you get to see a little bit of my organic process with this. Gemma says, and yet when you want them to be sticky, they won't. I know, isn't that always the case? When you need the letter fonts to be sticky, they're not sticky. But then they are when you need them to not be so sticky. I know. That is the issue of our people. I know. Okay. Now that I have this all into place, I feel like the font needs to be a little bit bigger. So I may not stick with these little font stickers. I might end up changing that, but I don't know what that's going to be like yet. So I'm just going to leave it alone for now and go from there. I've thought about switching to the Amanda ones because they're a little bit wider. Actually, let me test it out. When in doubt, test it out. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Corinne just rolled her eyes at me, by the way. Cringy. She said cringy, Mom. Cringy. Moms embarrassing tweens for decades and decades. Okay. This is the fun part, folks. When you change your mind and then you got to peel some stuff off. Where is my thing at? I'm looking for a tool to help me do that, and I think I found it. So I'm just going to gently sort of coax the letter off of here. We're going to go with something else. We're going to see if this is going to work. And if it doesn't work, then I'll go with something else. It's like it's not a big deal. I'm not trying to overthink this thing. So the reason why I don't like it is I don't think it makes that big of a statement on the layout. And I'm not even sure if I needed to make a statement. I just don't feel like it fits. Like, I don't have to, it's just not working. I'm not feeling it. You know, you got to feel it. But not to inertia, where you're not making any decisions. You know what I mean? Okay. So we're going to move that out the side. Love these letters. Not quite sure it's the best fit. Let's try the Amanda. And if the Amanda one doesn't work, then I'll figure out something else. And I'll be sure to post it on the interwebs in some way. The interweb. The internet. Okay, so let's bring out the Amanda ones. And let's try this again. Maybe I'll like this one better. Worrying about placement here. Got to make sure I have enough room for the long letter, which is the L. Getting this lined up. Let's grab an O. This is feeling really editorial to me. So it's like I'm not trying to make this something that it's not. It doesn't need to be like this super hyper layered layout. Although next week I do have a layout planned that's going to feature lots of layers and cut files and stuff like that. So stay tuned for that. I've been inspired by some projects that Paige Evans has been putting out recently. And, you know, she's like the queen of like cut files. Sarah says, love, love, love this. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Sometimes you just need a layout that just tells the story, right? You just need that no frills layout. And this is it. Feel free to scrap lift. If you do, tag me on Instagram. If you are in our Mighty Networks community, make sure you share what you're making. All the links to these communities and such are posted in the description, by the way. Let's grab an I. Okay, I'm already liking this already, folks. Already like this. Like, I think I made a good decision with this one. It's okay to change your mind. You don't have to be married or committed to certain things. It's your layout. You make it however you want to make it. Yes. Okay, this is working out much better. Much better. And then we'll add the tilde to the I. Maybe I need some ellipses here. Let's add the little tilde. Okay, I'm trying to position this with my little chunky fat fingers. Let's get out a tool here. Let's get out our pokey tool. I mentioned at the top of the live stream that I slammed my finger into my bathroom door. So this finger is swollen, so it feels weird maneuvering around everywhere. And I'm trying it's all black and blue, and it's a little bit swollen. I've been trying to ice it every hour or so. But it feels weird when you spend a lot of time working with your hands and, you know, one of your digits isn't working all that well. It feels kind of odd. Okay, so I'm thinking what I want to do is add an ellipses at the end of the word time. Right here. Oh, come on. Why do we fiddle with these little bitty things? There we go. Usually at the end it's worth it, but man, the process can be hard. Little bitty tiny things. I guess it forces us to slow down. Let me know in the comments section if you like working on just clean and simple layouts, if that's your thing. Some folks are minimalist. Would you consider, let me know, would you consider yourself a minimalist? Or would you consider yourself a maximist? Like you got to do all the things. Or are you somewhere in the middle? I like to think I'm somewhere in the middle. Like there's some days where I'm just filling a layout like this, which usually always takes me longer to do than a layout that has a bunch of stuff on it. And then some days, you know, I want to add all the things. I want all the stuff. I'm an eclectic scrapbooker. I fully admit that. I am an eclectic scrapbooker. Folks, I like that better. I'm glad we went with that. Yay. All right. Let me put this up. Let me know. Are you a minimalist scrapbooker? Maximist, meaning like you like to do all the things? Or are you in the middle? Let's see. Some said middle, I think. Clean and simple. I used to follow, I'm colleagues with her, but Kathy Zilski, if you're familiar with Kathy Zilski, does a ton, or did at some point, a lot of scrapbooking. She does mainly card making now, and she's the editor, or I'm sorry, creative director at Scrapbook and Cards Today. But her designs, her simple scrapbook designs, are what kind of really informed simple scrapbooking for me. And I've been following her for many years. I'm gonna get this repositioned here. And I just love her clean and simple editorial style. And the layouts are high impact without being in your face. And I think it's just quintessential clean and simple layout. Maximize, looking to be a minimalist, somewhere in the middle. Yes, Sarah, I love her too. She's so funny. Make sure you check her out on YouTube. Her YouTube channel has been growing of this past year. She does so many great card designs. She's kind of transitioned to card making. Kim says, I am so much a maximalist. It's rare for me to do something plain and simple. A bit of all three, just depends. Sarah, I'm right there with you. Yay to us eclectic people who like it all. If you look through my scrapbook layouts, you will see that I have a lot of different designs going on for my scrapbooks. And sometimes it's minimalist and sometimes it's not. Let's bring over a little bit of embellishing. So I like this little die cut here. And I thought about bringing it over here to add a horizontal element there. Thought about doing this arrow like right here. But I'm not sure yet. We'll come back to that. I've got, of course, a tab because shocker, Victoria in her tabs. That looks like it might go there. Then I have some other little things here too. This one says my story. I'm actually going to commit to some of these things. So when I'm working on a clean and simple layout, I have just a small number of elements available to me, usually. And then what I'm doing is I'm looking to sort of just highlight certain areas. It doesn't have to be embellishments everywhere when I'm doing these types of layouts. And I'm just seeing what works. Actually, might not use that tab. So I think what I've done so far, I have a chipboard sticker that says my story that I adhered here to the top of the layout by the journaling. Then I'm coming over here to this side of the layout where it's starting to look like there's a visual triangle going on. So I have this arrow and I'll probably add something else here. And then I have this little embellishment that I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it this length or cut it down, but I kind of like it this length and how it interrupts this vertical strip here. But it also provides an anchor for something else that could go here too. But it's keeping it super simple. So I'm thinking I might come in and add this circle that says one day at a time and then a heart. And then come over here and add another heart here. Keeping it simple, but notice I'm able to create that visual triangle, right? That doesn't go away. I want to add something here. I still like this My Story. I think I still want to keep that. I kind of like this little, this is actually a die cut that looks like a little notebook situation. So I actually kind of liked that here initially when I had planned to use it. I could also take that off if it's feeling too heavy. So actually when I take that off, it lightens up the layout. It lightens the load a little bit. So we'll come back to that. Since I had some direction here, I thought about adding some direction here. So that looks good. And maybe we move that heart here. Then I can add something here. Oh, I have another little heart. Maybe I can use some of that white space and add this here. So then I still have that visual triangle. I want to use this tab in some way. So maybe the tab I'm thinking about using the tab to add the date, so I'm just trying to figure out where I would want to position the tab. Kind of thought of having it here. And then moving this here. So what you're witnessing is my organic process because I didn't have this planned out at all. And then moving these up here just a little bit. And with those little tiny elements, I'm still kind of adhering to this sort of clean and simple style that I've adopted for this layout. It's not overly complicated. I'm using up what remaining bits I do have, but it's clean and simple. Let's commit. So these are going to be cohesive in the fact that each cluster or each area where I'm adding elements to has similar color story. Some of them have similar shapes. Like I've got the heart, so that's what's going to drive that cohesiveness to marry them all together. I'm going to put the date here on the tab. So see, I was able to use that tab. We're going to add a little bit of dimension here for this one as soon as I find my dots. Where'd my little container for my dots go? Oh, it's not even close. Or not even on my desk. It's on my other desk. Let's add a little foam to this. So I have heart here, heart here, heart here. Doesn't have to be the same color, it's just the same shape, right? I think sometimes when we're making clusters, we think we have to have the exact same elements in the exact same cluster. I mean, in each of the cluster, you do not. Whether it's the same color, the same shape, the same icon, that's going to drive that cohesiveness as well. It doesn't have to be the exact same element. I do want to use this die cut because I don't know if I use it in any other projects. So we're just going to put that here. And then I want to add this arrow, which is going to give some direction. And we'll just put that there. I love using arrows. And then we're going to add just a little bit of foam here to this bottom section, or this little heart rather. That might be a little bit too big, so let's grab some scissors. Give that a little trim, a little cut that down, make that work for us. And then I'm going to add it to the heart. There we go. Doesn't have to be complicated, right? Simple, clean, to the point. Okay, got a little bit of adhesive here that's kind of being weird. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. Clean that up just a tiny bit. So that was bothering me. Every now and then there's that small thing that bothers me. I'll put the date there, and I need to look up the date because I forgot to write that down. I have some other elements I could use too, but I'm thinking, like I wanted to use this little arrow here, which I might still do. I actually like that. So I'm going to use this arrow. I could also stamp something on this arrow too. If I had a little small sentiment, I could stamp something on there. Personalize it, make it my own. Put it there to draw, again, more direction. Like it's all kind of drawing direction in the journaling title. I have this die cut that says my journey, but I don't think that's going to work on there. I have another one that says I'm worth it. Maybe that'll go here. I kind of like that there. I'm worth it. Yeah, I like that there. Let's do that. So with just a little bit of pattern paper and some embellishments and a whole lot of journaling, folks, we've got ourselves a clean and simple layout that focuses on the story. Focuses on the story. So there we go. I like the way this turned out. It doesn't always have to be the Zsa Zsa Gabor of layouts. It doesn't always have to be just like this whole big thing. It can be whatever it is that you want your layout to be, clean and simple. For me, this is clean and simple. For some people, this may be too much if they really, really, really like more of a clean, simple layout. I have a friend of mine who I used to scrapbook with a lot, and her layouts are just a photo, a couple of stickers, and journaling, and that's it. Like she doesn't do she doesn't do anything else. Yeah, Kelly, I like the I'm worth it there as well. Yeah, me too. So there we go. Completed 12 by 12 layout. Lots of journaling. Created a really fun background using some pattern paper from the Felicity Jane Gabby kit. Went ahead and split those two. So I have a nice point of interest on the left, nice point of interest on the right. Created a band of journaling with journaling text boxes that I created using Microsoft Word. Also using some stamping on these text boxes. And what this does is it draws the eye in to the story, and you're using your stamps. Created some small embellishing clusters in a visual triangle. So I have a little bit here, a little bit here, and a little bit here. It doesn't have to be something super overwhelming. This is also great if you have those small little bits left over from kits or collections that you can use in some way on your layout. If you're doing a layout like this, it's more story driven. My photo is 4x6 printed on the vertical, and of course I used the Felicity Jane Amanda font for the title. Could I do more with this? Absolutely. But again, my feel for this layout was to keep it super clean, super simple, but focused on the journaling and telling the story. And this is sometimes some of my favorite ways to be able to document stories where I have a lot to say and I don't really feel like doing a whole bunch of embellishing. Although this weekend I'll be doing a lot of projects that have a lot of embellishing on them for various different reasons. So anyway, some of which I'll be able to share with you really quickly, and some you'll have to wait and see. Alrighty, so let me go to the comments section. Thank you so much for your comments on the project. I'm glad that you love it. Love how story focused this is, but it's still beautiful. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. Joining late, but I love your layout. Hey, Christine, so glad you're here. I think sometimes scrapbooking, I think we get into the mindset that the scrapbook pages have to be super embellished, and they don't. If your story is what's driving your project, it's okay. And to have a lot of words on your page that are driving that project, and to have a little bit of embellishments that sort of round it out from a design standpoint. So don't feel pressured into doing a whole bunch of layering if it's just not your jam. And conversely, there may be some projects that you're working on that you are super driven by the product and the design, or you want to practice techniques, and you can use that page, whether it's a 12 by 12, 8.5 by 11, 2-page or single page, to really work through that process and flesh it out. But the words aren't the focus of that particular layout. Maybe it's the photos that are really telling the story and you're working in tandem with the embellishments on that page. So you let that layout be what you want it to be, right? Absolutely. I'm going to swim back up here to the comments. Some of you, to my earlier question, are you a minimalist, a maximalist, or somewhere in the middle? It looks like a lot of folks are somewhere in the middle with this. Mostly minimal, but sometimes toward the middle. Hardly ever all the things. Yeah. Somewhere in the middle, much more of a maximalist. I buy enough to be a maximalist, says Jen. Don't we all, right? Absolutely. Sometimes I think with all the product that I had, I could probably put like 10,000 things on my layout. Someone asked me about my tape runner. Yes, this is a Tombow Mono permanent adhesive tape runner. And so you can buy one of the tape runners, and then it has the inserts that you can purchase separately. And they're about 11.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I was going to
Okay. They're about $11 for the cartridges, the tape runner cartridges. This is one of many tape runners that I use. I also like Gina K tape runners too, by the way. Let's see. What else do we have? Off topic, where do you get your headbands? Oh, cool. Thank you for asking that. I do wear headbands a lot. This is something that I've been doing for probably the past 3 or 4 years. I've really been into headbands. I purchased my headbands on Amazon. This one that I have on today, it came in a set with black, navy blue, red, yellow? I can't remember, and another color, but super inexpensive. And they come with it with a little bow right here. And it has a little bit of wire, so you can shape your bow however you want to. So I found these on Amazon. So that's on Amazon. I also buy them at Claire's as well, the jewelry store, because they have some cute headbands too. So I decided I just love headbands, and I wear them a lot. I just love them. And plus, I don't have to fuss with my hair that much when I just get up in the morning, puff my fro, and slap on a headband, and I'm good to go. Good to go. All right, folks. With that, we're gonna sign off. I'm gonna take a picture of this and post it on my socials, so make sure you guys check that out. If you are joining us for the Victoria Marie online virtual crop next weekend, I look forward to seeing you. If you're just joining us, make sure you give this live stream a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you've enjoyed it. If you're just joining the Victoria Marie Scrapbook community, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and when you do, click the bell so you'll be notified when I post content here. All information about the Victoria Marie online virtual crop or a link to it rather, to the information and how to register, including the registration link, is included in the description box. So just scroll on down there. I have the information posted. Congratulations to our winners of the 11K subscriber giveaway. We picked 2 winners to win a $25 e-gift card to scrapbook.com, Kari, Duncan, and Caroline Dubois. So make sure that you get in touch with me. That information is also in the descriptions. Shoot me an email so that we can get that to you. Join me next week. I'll be back with another project that's probably going to be a little bit more involved. I've been really inspired to use cut files lately. I got my Silhouette machine and my old computer hooked up together in a nice little area station where it makes it easier for me to do my die cutting, but there's some cut files that I've been interested in using. And so I will probably be back next week with a cut file, backing a cut file. I'm going to show you my easy peasy way of backing a cut file and using some other materials with that for a layout. So make sure you join me next week. Sarah says, just signed up yesterday for the crop. Can't wait. So many pages done at the last one. Yes, there are people that get really super hyper productive during these things. So you could sit around and hang out with us and make layouts to your heart's content. Deanna Baby says, I just registered for the virtual crop. So far, I've not missed one. Yay! That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you, Cindy. She says, I look cute in my headband. Thank you so much. So make sure you join us for the crop. Make sure if you're not following me on my socials, the links are posted in the description box. Get on board with us, the Mighty Network, the Victoria Marie Instagram. Follow me on all my socials. Make sure that you follow me on my blog. Join the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter so you can get all the updated info. I publish a newsletter twice a week, so make sure you check that out. And with that, folks, I hope you have a fantastic weekend and spend some time doing something creative because you deserve it. I will see you next Friday and, of course, always on the other Victoria Marie platforms. Have a good weekend, guys. Mwah. Bye-bye.